attention to. You're in competition with everything, and you don't need to make attention. You need to get attention. They're tied together. Attention is money. Get it, keep it, multiply it. That means when I'm in a meeting, I need to get your attention. I need to get it. I need to be sure I have it. I need to keep it, and then I need to multiply that attention. Because if you don't keep my full attention, you ain't gonna get none of my money.
If you want Cardone Kern to grow your brand for you, to get your market's attention, keep your market's attention, and cause them to know you, like you, trust you, and want what it is that you have to sell, go to CardoneKern.com.
When you're in front of a customer, do I have your attention? When you're getting attention, you need to know something else is trying to get their attention too. You're in competition with everything, and you don't need to make attention. You need to get attention. They're tied together. Attention is money. Get it, keep it, multiply it. That means when I'm in a meeting, I need to get your attention. I need to get it. I need to be sure I have it. I need to keep it, and then I need to multiply that attention. Because if you don't keep my full attention, you ain't gonna get none of my money.
If you want Cardone Kern to grow your brand for you, to get your market's attention, keep your market's attention, and cause them to know you, like you, trust you, and want what it is that you have to sell, go to CardoneKern.com.
What's happening, all y'all? Welcome to the Lead Magnet with your main man, Dr. Frank Kern, attorney at law, chief engineer at NASA, retired, current Guinness Book of World Records record holder for the most fake titles ever used on a podcast/video thingy, specifically about the internet. Now, before we begin, of course, as you can see on the sign here behind me, beautifully written, we are dispensing free medical advice on today's show. Am I qualified to give such advice? Of course not. But if you would like some random free medical advice, which will probably lead to unhealthy choices and bad decisions, I'm happy to dispense it. All you got to do is call 305-865-8668, or we can talk about marketing and stuff. Your choice. If I can help you out with your marketing, help you get more customers from the intranet, probably a better use of your call. Again, call me at 305-865-8668. We're here live. Today is whatever today is, Tuesday the something. What is it, 13th, 12th? The somethingth of August.
13th.
The 13th. Getting close. Tuesday the 13th of August. Coming to you live from Miami, Florida. Yeah, where it's just a balmy 7,000 degrees outside right now. It's just feeling really, really good. What we're going to talk about today is the new rules of internet marketing, of online advertising. So here's what happens. You know, we have us over here at the Cardone Kern, one of those, how do you say, little ad agencies, what we got. And we deal with a whole bunch of clients, and it's fun, and it's cool, and our clients are awesome. And sometimes we'll get one, and they'll think that this happens. They'll think that you get your guy here, your person, and they're just browsing around on the internet, and they see an ad, and they immediately go, "Some bitch, right there's an ad for that thing. I'm going to go buy it right now," right? Yeah, and guess what? That used to kind of be how it worked back in the day, back when I was your age, right? When we had to make our own internet out of sticks and pull it with a horse, okay? But it's not really how it happens anymore. According to a company called C3 Metrics, which is in part headed by a dude coming out of Nielsen Research. So Nielsen doesn't mess around. This is the new way that online marketing works, okay? And this is very, very important to take note, because if you can understand this, you'll make more money, and that's what we want to help you do, is make mo money. Because as we have often uncovered the truth of the matter on this very show, mo money does in fact not mean mo problems at all. It's less problems with the mo money. I know this for sure. Okay, so here's what happens, all right? Person sees your ad, okay? Or an ad for whatever, all right? And they're like, that's kind of interesting. I kind of want one of those. Now, instead of doing what we wish they would do, which is to immediately go to your website and give you money, instead they continue screwing around on the internet, and then the next day they might see another ad, and then the next day they might see a video, and the next day they might see an article, and the next day they might see a review, and then they might see another ad, and then what typically happens is they end up going to Google, which is the weirdest thing ever. And usually this whole thing happens, this whole process, this is what research is showing, this whole process typically takes 22 freaking days. This is coming straight out of C3, which is backed by Nielsen, that the average internet experience, the customer journey, is 22 days from the time they start thinking about your stuff to the time that they actually buy it. And all of these little touch points I'm showing you here, on average, the person needs to be exposed to 32 of them. 32 times. So if you're marketing on the intranet, all right, and you're hoping that this magic is going to happen right here, where you got old Billy Bob. Man, that thing just got weird on me. Come on, there we go. Whiteboard's messed me up. There we go. We got old Billy Bob sees your ad and immediately gives you money. That's what you call delusional thinking right there. Wishful thinking is more like it, because I wish it would happen. That'd be awesome. That'd make everything a lot easier. Okay, so the real question is, if this is in fact the environment, how do you actually make it all work better? How do you make this work in your favor? It's not like how do you cope with it? How do we turn it into an advantage? Well, first thing you got to do, got to understand the lay of the land. See, times have done changed. And what you're going to hear, by the way, if you get on your internet marketing webinars and all of that kind of stuff, is people are going to say, such and such is dead. Email is dead. Facebook is dead. YouTube is dead. They say it just like that, by the way. It's dead. And like all the stuff that worked before, it just don't work no more. And you got to come to me and I'll give you the magic secret. And then the magic secret is whatever, right? In fact, none of that stuff is dead. All the stuff that used to work still works. The tactics really have not changed. Put a good advertisement in front of someone who wants your stuff and they'll typically buy it. What has changed, however, is the attention of the market, and here's how. Now, back in the day when I was your age, all right, now, I mean, I'm 27, obviously. Back in the day, like 10 years ago or so, used to be people would spend pretty much all their time on a computer. When they were on the internet, they'd be on a computer and they'd either be on email or like an internet browser, right? Like going to websites and stuff. And that was kind of the way the whole situation worked. Today, their attention is fragmented. What's going on is you got your dude here, all right? Here's your prospect, and he is on your Facebooks. And then he's paying attention to Facebook Messenger, and he's on your Instagrams, and he's getting his Instagram direct messages, and he's on your YouTubes, and he's listening to your podcasts over there, and then he is on the rest of the internet, right? Like, I don't know, TMZ or people.com or the Weather Channel or whatever. So if we look at this, and I'm probably missing something. Oh yeah, of course, I'm missing like LinkedIn. So all of these are different platforms. So what you have now, instead of this situation where everything used to be so easy, which was a guy would like check email and then go to a website or something, you have a person who's looking, his attention is on all these different platforms all the time. But what's even better, okay, and you're probably asking, how in the hell is this better, right? Well, I'll tell you. What's even better is he's now on multiple devices, okay? So it used to be you had a computer and that was it. Now you got yourself an iPhone or a non-iPhone, whatever other kinds of phones there are. You got yourself a tablet. You got the laptop. That's supposed to be a drawing of a laptop there, whatever, it's moderately bad drawing. And then you've got your desktop, okay, with the keyboard there. That's what that is. And then you have connected TV. Connected TV being stuff like Roku, Hulu, Apple TV, and all of that kind of stuff. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different devices that the typical person has. So not only is your customer now on like whatever it was, 9 different possible platforms, all of which competing for his attention at different times, giving him different messages and different media. He's now doing it across these multiple devices, and guess what he's doing? He's doing it at the same time. Look, I know I'm not the only one that'll do this, right? You're watching Apple TV, you got your laptop open, and you're checking out like Facebook or whatever on your laptop, you're watching television, and then on your phone, you're looking at Instagram. everybody does it, right? So attention scattered across multiple platforms and across multiple devices. On top of all of this, saw an article that said the average consumer saw 5,000 advertising exposures every single day. 5,000. You know what's crazy? That article was from 2007. According to newer research, that number is now 10,000. So you got different platforms, different devices, all right, and now twice the amount of noise. So that is the new landscape of digital marketing, which sounds like doom and gloom, right? So it's kind of like, great, this is really encouraging, Frank, thanks. But in fact, it actually is really encouraging because most of these 10,000 ads, they totally suck, okay? They're horrible. So you don't actually have that much competition. So like if you were just to go up and go to any website and look at the majority of the banner ads, you're blind to them, right? Because they don't even get your attention at all. When you're scrolling through Facebook or whatever, you probably don't pay attention to the overwhelming majority of the ads because they're terrible. So what this means is if your ads are even remotely worth a damn, you're going to be able to stand out. But what's really, really cool about this whole situation is according to research, all right, I think this is right, it's 9.73 or 9.74, the average individual spends 9.73 hours every freaking day looking at personal media. Personal media is secret code for your phone, your tablet, your computer, or your connected television. What are they looking at on their personal media stuff? Stuff on the internet or stuff they've downloaded from the internet. What does this tell you? It means that over half of their waking hours are spent in an environment where you can reach them. All right, so you've got greater opportunity than ever before. You want me to do that again? That was something. That's part of the exercise program. That costs extra if you want to join me for the workout session of today's thing, right? So they're spending half of their waking freaking hours in an environment where you can reach them, and they're doing so on devices that they are never far away from. I mean, I'm shooting a damn show right now, okay? And I've got my telephone right here. Like you probably have your phone with you right now, right? So we've got damn near 24-hour access to them, and they're spending more time in the very media that we can reach them with than ever before in history. So what appears to be kind of a disadvantage to us is actually not even remotely a disadvantage to us, is actually freaking awesome, all right? However, it does present its challenges. First, let me tell you what to do about this stuff. All right, and then I'll tell you about the challenges, which aren't necessarily bad. What you want to do is be everywhere. All right? But, this is really important, you only want to be everywhere to the right people. See, when you're buying ads online, doesn't matter if you're on your Facebooks there, if you're running ads on your YouTubes, if you're running ads on your Instagrams, if you're running them banner ads or whatever you're doing, damn near every single ad platform in the world, you're paying a certain amount of money per 1,000 people that see your ads, called CPM, right? Now here's the thing, I'm just kind of stay, we're a little mathy, but it's going to get a little easier here in a minute. If you're paying for people to see your ads, doesn't it make logical sense that you would only want to pay when people obviously really want to buy your stuff, right? Well, of course. So now what we realize in terms of how to handle this is if we can at first identify the perfect person who is highly likely to want to buy your stuff, we can then, instead of trying to be everywhere for everybody, be everywhere for this person and be in this person's Instagram, be in this person's Facebook, be on this person's YouTube, be on this person's everywhere else, rest of the internet. By the way, of that 9.73 hours per day that the average individual spends staring at their personal media? How much time of it do you think is spent in this world right here? I'll tell you, because it's a one-way conversation. 33%. The overwhelming majority is still spent browsing the internet, like actually going to websites. Now, what's really cool, these guys right here, these traffic sources, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the most expensive traffic sources out there. So here's what's really great, all right? If you know how to play this game, you can get in front of this person who has clearly expressed interest in your stuff and be where he's spending 60% of his time and do so for a fraction of the cost because everyone else is over here in social media world because that's what they think everybody's doing. But the research shows most people are actually all over the place, right? So you want to be everywhere for this guy and you want to be on all devices, and you can, okay? So that's the good news. All right, we can help you do that, by the way. If you want to go to CardoneKern.com, you can see how. There's a little letter there, 7 ways that we're able to do that. If you like what you see, fill in the form. We'll talk to you. If you want to become a client, lovely. If not, no worries. But let's talk about the challenges that this creates, all right? And it's a good problem to have if you know what to do, okay? So if we know that the dude, we got our 22-day sequence here, not a sequence, but a 22-day span of time that the average person takes from the time they see like the first ad to the time they actually spend the money. The problem that this creates is the fact that he's going to see something on Facebook, he's probably going to see something on Instagram, he's probably going to see something on the rest of the internet, he might get an email, he might read an article, and then he's probably just going to type in the domain or go to Google. And the problem that creates is it makes it really hard to track which one of these damn things actually caused the sale to happen. All right, so I'm going to give you the secret to figuring this stuff out. All right, and we're going to use something that's a little bit like I told you I was chief engineer at NASA, retired, right? That's not true, but I'm a chief engineer at NASA, retired. I'm using the term retirement loosely. There's this one time I didn't put the gas cap on the space shuttle right, and they just never got over it, and so I'm no longer welcome at NASA. But anyway, rocket surgeon for a long time, right? This level of complexity on tracking this stuff is slightly above the level of complexity that we did at NASA, but not too much. What we're going to use here is good old-fashioned redneck analytics. All right, and that's what we're going to use. I'm not even going to try to spell it. It takes too long. Redneck analytics. Your tools are going to be uno piece of papero, pen, calculator. All right, what I want you to do every day, now you want to track this stuff as best you can, right? You're running ads on Facebook, you want to look at your Facebook stats and check the stats and see, okay, is it showing that I'm getting conversions from these ads? Because if it is showing, you want to bump it up, right? But what's really, really important to understand is that when people are on this 22-day journey, they're going to see your ad, they're going to see you, they're going to be exposed to you about a gazillion times, and a lot of the times, in fact, more often than not, they'll actually just type in your freaking domain and not actually even click on anything. To this very day, here at Cardone Kern, and every domain that we control from advertising, the majority of our traffic comes from people just typing in the domain name, even though that we spend just on this ad agency thousands of dollars every day advertising the agency. Yeah, of course we get a lot of clicks from the ads, but still most people, they see it so much, they just freaking type it in. So if we know that's happening, we know that's really, really hard to track where those type-ins came from. And if we're not counting the fact that so many people are typing in stuff and we're just looking at that looking to make sure that one ad definitely produced that one customer, we might end up turning ads off thinking they're not working when they really are. So here's your mission. Pen, paper, calculator. Here's what you do. Every day, let's say you start running ads today, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to start running ads today. What I want you to do is every day make a note of this stuff right here. Let's say you're a local business, right? 1, calls. How many calls did you get? 2, walk-ins. 3, sales. Okay? Now your mission is to go run your ads for a little bit and then go back and be like, all right, does this number right here, is this more than it was before I started running them ads? And guess what? If it's more, it wasn't luck. You weren't using the secret. You didn't manifest the extra sales. It actually came from the ads, even though you might not be able to see it statistically in all of your ad tracking stuff. And the reason why is for the reasons I just explained. They're on 1 billion different devices. They're seeing it all over these different platforms, and it's pretty much impossible to track what is called multi-attribution and multi-channel analytics. Some companies claim they can. Hey, if you want to spend $5 or $10 grand a month trying to figure it out, knock yourself out. We use the pad and pencil around here, and it's working pretty good. All right? I'll tell you a little story that drives it home. I'll tell you 2 stories. One story is a tragedy narrowly averted. All right, and this was almost a week ago. The team's like, Frank, we got this customer, you need to call him. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought someone just booked a call with a client. So I call the dude, and he's like, I'm like, hey man, how's it going? You know, and he's like, well, I'm not happy. And I said, well, good. You know, you shouldn't be. That's the last thing we want is happy clients. You need to pay extra. And I didn't really say that. I'm like, dude, tell me what's up. And he's like, well, I started with you guys in June, and nothing's happening. I'm like, huh, okay. Well, you know, we might be screwing stuff up. You never know. We don't ever set out to, but give me the backstory. He says, well, you started in that. Well, first of all, let me tell you a little story about the guy, all right? He has a cosmetic dentistry operation. His sales process is people call, book a consultation, go, become a patient or not. Really, really simple, right? So we start out and we're like, okay, knowing his sales process, we're going to use the phone and the iPad, basically like a television. We start running a lot of what is essentially TV commercials for his practice. Now, in that environment, there's really not much links you can click on. You know, they don't actually buy from him on the internet. There's nothing he can tangibly see. There's nothing he can really hit refresh on, right? So June goes by, and he's like, I'm not able to hit refresh on anything. I don't know what you guys are doing. And he gets with his account manager, one of our guys. So every client has an account manager. It's like their liaison. He's like, hey, I want you to change directions. I need you to generate leads for me because this stuff isn't working. The account manager doing his job is like, okay, if that's what you want us to do, then we'll go ahead and do it. Now, let me ask you a question. If you've got a business and your entire sales process for your entire career of your business has been that people call you and schedule an appointment and then come to you, how good of a job do you think you're going to do with no training of any kind in generating leads, then outbound dialing those leads, then convincing them to come in? Probably not so good, especially if you just hand that task off to an office manager, right? So I get on the horn with my man. He says, I'm not happy. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see if we can fix it. That's the last thing we want is someone to be unhappy. He tells me his tale of woe. He says, well, we were running these videos in June. Then we switched to these lead ads, and we got all these leads, but nobody's got any money. I didn't even challenge him on that one because you and I both know. He said, hey, office manager, call these people. She called like 7 of them. They didn't immediately come in and book. And she's like, this doesn't work. Let me get back to doing other office manager-y stuff. So I'm like, well, dude, before we turn these videos off, I want you just to do something for me. And I introduced him to the concept of our redneck analytics. And I said, do you by any chance keep track of how many patients you get every month? He's like, yeah. I said, cool. Would you kindly do me a favor and just send over the reports for February, March, April, May, June, and July? You'll never believe what happened. The month of June, in which we were running the ads that are supposed to drive people into his cosmetic dentistry practice, produced $18,000 in additional revenue, actually produced more money in that 1 month from internet referred revenue than the rest of the year combined. And then when he told us to stop doing it and generate the leads, you're never going to guess what happened. Yeah, it stopped producing the revenue, right? The moral of this story isn't that we are always right, because sometimes the stuff just doesn't work. I mean, that's like, you test things out and everything. The real moral of the story is you got to know the lay of the land. You got to know how this stuff works. And if you just use good old-fashioned redneck analytics and actually do a good job of keeping track of everything, you'll get a pretty good idea. Am I getting more calls? Am I getting more walk-ins? Am I getting more sales? If yes, it's probably working. Now, when we do stuff like geofencing for people and we're doing search retargeting and we can actually draw a little fence around their place of business and measure how many people come in, we actually have the ability to do that. But this dude wanted to be on social media, and you can't do it with social media. Turns out, thank God we did redneck analytics, because A, we were able to save the client, B, we can turn that stuff back on, and hell, $18 or $18,000 is a pretty good extra little bump for it, you know. Maybe we'll even run more of those videos, see if we can get them up to 36 or 50 or 100, who knows, right? So that right there is the moral of the story, okay? Use redneck analytics, understand that they don't just see a Facebook ad, then go to your website and then buy right there immediately. You gotta be everywhere, and that's it. So, we have one. We have four. Do I have to talk to all four of them? Okay, because I'm a pretty antisocial person, as you guys can imagine, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special caller all the way from Toronto, Canada.
His name is Sass.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? His name is Sass? Like sassy without
Seth,
the Y?
Seth, like Seth Green, Seth
Oh,
Cohen.
Seth. It's not Sass. Sorry, dude.
No, it must be my Canuck accent. But I'm loving those pants today. That's a really nice color.
You know, thank you very much. These were made for me by Gent Row. That's Gent Row, ladies and gentlemen. Pants brought to you by Gent Row. Yeah, the guy's a cool guy, so I figured I'd plug him. They make clothes for people. I got a bargain on them, too.
Nice.
Yeah. Hot diggity.
So I've got a question for you. I have the podcast going. I've got the YouTube channel. I'm starting doing the daily live streams today with an offer, pitching to a landing page for a consultation. Where I suck is the Instagram game and those like one-off image posts driving organic content to the bigger content. Do you have any tips for me or best practices in creating those image posts or those like one-off kind of things?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, here is the formula. All right, for the stuff you're doing, this stands for goodwill plus offers times frequency equals money, right? So you're going live, you're posting content on the YouTubes, you got a podcast, that's delivering goodwill. The first thing I want to make sure is, are you making an offer every single time you do that?
No, I realized I did not have a strong enough offer, so I'm changing that actually today on my podcast, on my live stream. So now I have a landing page, callseth.com, where that's going to prompt them to sign up for a one-on-one Zoom call with me.
Nice. Okay, so that's way more important than the Instagram thing, and that's why I asked. A lot of times when people start doing that heavy content stuff, they'll forget that you're supposed to make an offer. I did it today. I've only mentioned that you should go to Cardone Kern once. So go to Cardone Kern, go to Cardone Kern, go to Cardone Kern, go to Cardone Kern. There, I just made up for lost time. All right? But in all your content, you really want to like make that nice soft offer probably every 90 seconds or so. And the way you do it, by the way, I'll just kind of give you a little framework. Like, hey, you know what? If you need any help with this, or if you want to brainstorm some ideas on how to get the results you're after, go to callseth.com. There's a little letter there that tells you how everything works. And if you feel like talking, fill out the form and we'll set up a time to talk. Anyway, back into the content. Boom. There you go. So you don't have to be obnoxious about it, right? Yeah. And so now we got the goodwill plus offers part down. Next one is frequency. We want to be doing this all the time. Now, here's the thing about your Instagrams. Okay, if you go, who do you compete with, by the way? Like, who's one of your bigger competitors?
Well, I would say your Uncle G is the biggest fish in the sea right now. So I raise capital for real estate deals.
Okay, so if you were to go to semrush.com, for example, or socialinsider.io, probably a better one would be SEMrush, you can actually run intelligence, competitive intelligence and competitive analysis on grantcardone.com. And when you do, you'll find out that the Instagrams direct traffic from is about 3%. I know this to be true because I just ran this on old G Money's site. Does it mean you shouldn't use Instagram? No. It means you're not going to be getting a lot of direct traffic from Instagram Therefore, what you're going to use Instagram for is going to be a broadcasting medium for you to get that domain in front of them 1,000,000 times. And the best consumption, and if you go to socialinsider.io and just plug in whoever's social profile you want to see, you'll see this validated almost all the way across the board. The best consumption and engagement on IG is video, which means you probably don't want to mess around with the image posts as much, and you want to make more video that gives quick goodwill, quick advice, tells them to go to your website. And if you'll notice on ours, if you follow me, for example, Grant doesn't do it as much as I do because he probably doesn't obsess over it like I do. You'll notice that our videos look like this for Cardone Kern. There's me, sometimes a headline, always the domain name right there. So you're seeing CardoneKern.com, 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 CardoneKern.com 1,000,000 times. You cannot escape it. Frequency works, right? Especially when combined with the goodwill. So for the image posts and stuff on how to do it, I don't know, put some cool pictures and write some stuff and see what happens. But it doesn't work as well as doing these short little videos where they're clearly seeing the offer every single time. And that's your magic formula on that. And do like however much you're doing now, do like 11x more. I'd say 10x, but personally, I'm thinking a little extra X might be in order. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, are you demanding another call? Good Lord, I'm trying to go to lunch over here. You know, I mean, people are always worried. They're like, Frank, are you anorexic? I'm like, I know you could think that, I understand, but no, I'm not. So I'm trying to combat those rumors.
Okay.
All right?
Got Julian in Baltimore.
Okay. What? How's it going, man? Is it Julia or Ann? Julian. A male. Okay. Hello, sir.
Yeah, male.
How are you? What's happening?
I'm good, Dr. Kern. So I'm originally from Albany, Georgia, actually, so not too far from Macon, Georgia.
I've spent many an hour at the Albany Auto Auction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
where it's high class and good fried chicken there, actually. So, no
Indeed,
kidding.
indeed.
It really is pretty good. What can I do for you, sir?
All right. Yeah, so actually my question is actually similar to Mr. Seth there from Canada. So I'm a car salesman. I just started my website, julianthornton.net, and my weekly podcast started in September. And so because I don't sell I sell a tangible product. I don't have like a digital liquidator. So my question is, should I be developing a liquidator? And on my VSL and my content pitch, should it be just for appointments, or is there something else I'm not thinking about?
First thing I would ask if you were my client is, what is your desired outcome of this campaign?
Well, I definitely want to develop goodwill, and I want people to know me, to be quite frank.
Well, I mean, one great way to get people to know you is just to like go and run naked down the freeway and yelling obscenities. So
Yeah.
What is the effect of them knowing you? Like, what do we want them to come on the lot? Do we want them to call you? Do we want them to buy a car from you? What's the deal?
Well, yeah, I want them to buy a car from me, but I want to sell more.
Okay.
Hit bigger targets.
Okay. And what is the sales process typically? Does the average person call first and schedule something, or do they just show up?
I would say the average person calls first, they email first, instead of just showing up. Those days are kind of, you don't really see those happen too often, as often, I should say, as far as people just showing up.
So they call or email?
Yes, they do, call or email.
Which one is preferred and better?
I guess for us it would be call, but I think for clients they usually prefer email.
So they would prefer to email you. Do they ever direct message you?
Sometimes, not as frequently at my dealership. No, not really.
Cool. Okay.
Small part of our business.
Therefore, the desired outcome of the call is to get buyers, or desired outcome of the campaign is to get buyers to email.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now that we know that, now we kind of got an idea of what to do. All right. So first thing we want to do is know who you're targeting. All right. So who are you after? Who do you want?
Who do I want?
Mm-hmm.
I would say I want people that, are already kind of aware of the Audi brand. But I find that those people are already pretty much sold on the Audi. It's just a matter of showing them which one is going to work best for them.
So you're selling Audis, you said?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah, those are good cars. A buddy of mine's got one. Almost got one for my nanny, but then she got hit in my G-Wagon. And I was like, you're going to keep the G-Wagon. I'm going to get me a new G-Wagon. And so no Audi.
right.
So I guess that's the secret to getting yourself a G-Wagon. If you work for me, get hit in it, and then you get a free G-Wagon. Okay. Well, no, it became, she was driving the kids around. I'm like, wow, that thing, no one got hurt. It's perfect. To hell with it. You're keeping that as a tank. All right. So we want people who are pre-sold on Audi. Okay. So here's what I would do. I would do search retargeting, and I would do geofencing, driving people to a page with a video, intro from you with a click to call or a click to email button, and I would do 100% mobile because they can actually click to call on mobile. Search retargeting means someone that does a search for Audi stuff, right? Because I want you to have the lowest hanging fruit from cost efficiency type of thing. It was someone who does a search for like new Audi, what is it, Q5 or Q7, 2019 Audi reviews, all of that kind of stuff. So they do that search, and if this is the dealership, if they're in like, let's say a 10-mile radius of that dealership, so that would be your target. All right. I would also do geofencing for anyone who's going to BMW store. What's another competitor with Audi? Volkswagen. Mercedes. Yeah. And so this isn't going to be a huge audience of people, but if we go all the way back to the beginning, right, of when we were talking, it's like, hey, you're paying per 1,000 views. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. So I don't want you paying, but for the right per 1,000 views, and these are the people that you target. And your ads say something like, if you're looking for an Audi, you got to see this. And then it clicks over to your thing, and you're like, hey, how's it going? I sell Audis. I know nobody likes car salesmen, but actually I'm a pretty nice one, and I'd like to answer any questions you have. We've got a ton of them, and there's a lot of differences between them, and there's a lot of stuff people don't know, and you call me or email me, and I'm happy to help you, or something like that. You would probably know that pitch a little bit better than me. That'd be your whole campaign. That would be it, right? Simplify, man, simplify. Nice and easy. And you would want to, at the beginning of all of this kind of stuff, do the good old-fashioned redneck analytics, know about how many calls, walk-ins, and sales you got before you started, then track calls, walk-ins, and sales you got after you started, and make sure the answer is mo. And if it's mo, keep going. And if it's less, don't keep going. I wish I had something that rhymed with less, but I ain't got nothing that rhymes with less. All right, so that's it. Okay, no mas callers. All right. I will leave you guys with an unbelievable motivational quote, because a lot of people these days, I'm no stranger to social media, all right? And you might want to come closer to me for dramatic effect here as we zoom in a little bit, because this is serious for a minute. Okay? Oh, no, not if you have to get up. My God, it's not that serious. Okay, look, a lot of people out there, they're on the social media. They're looking for motivation. They're looking for advice on how to make their lives better. And I think there's a 2-step formula that was delivered by a song in the late 80s. And I'll outline these steps for you. Steps are like this. Number 1, everybody have fun tonight, which is simple enough on the surface. But step number 2 is what a lot of people don't think of, and that's everyone Wang Chung tonight. Okay, so if you would just simply, step 1, everybody have fun tonight. Step 2, everyone Wang Chung tonight. My friends, I tell you, those words may on the surface seem simple, but in reality, they are deep. They are deep like the waters of the mighty Colorado River that cuts through the western part of this beautiful country of America that we call home. They have been so helpful to so many people, and I hope they guide you on your journey to more success and happiness in your life. Hashtag motivation. Hashtag success. Hashtag habits. Hashtag mastery. Hashtag mastery of success. Habits. Hashtag genius with a capital J. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. We'll see you next week. Take it easy. Get out there. Make a lot of money. If you want us to run your ads for you, free motivational advice is included, but go to CardoneKern.com. We'd be happy to help. Take it easy. It's still running it, and now I'm just kind of standing here because he's at the camera, and it's like, all right, fade away for dramatic effect. Enter dramatic